English 121, Drafting an Argument, from the Allen and Bacon Guide, pages 444 to 451 and 472 to 474. As with any writing project, begin your planning by analyzing your intended audience. If you are working with a general readership, try to imagine from the start as specifically as possible what kinds of readers you particularly want to sway. When analyzing your audience, consider how much does your audience know or care about your issue? What is your audience's current attitude toward your issue? How do your audience's values, assumptions, and beliefs differ from your own? What values, beliefs, or assumptions about the world do you and your audience share? The next step is to plan an argument that is audience-based by seeking audience-based reasons. These are reasons whose underlying assumptions you can defend. Try to decide what is the most important to your audience and then tap into that value to bring them over to your side. You can create an outline of your argument, stating your reasons as because clauses attached to your central claim, using the traditional argument structure. Then, plan each line of reasoning, concentrating on supporting each reason with evidence and arguing for the underlying assumptions behind each reason. You want to organize each reason into its own paragraph separate from the other paragraphs in the essay, and present these paragraphs in the same order as they are mapped out in the claim or thesis at the beginning. Try to anticipate audience objections and counterarguments by exploring ways that an audience might question either your reasons or your underlying assumptions, or both. Use the outline you created to finish developing the rest of your argument. Consider using the Allen and Bacon Guide to guide you through this process. To organize your argument, decide how you want to order your reasons and your counterarguments. There are several options for how you can do this. It's always important to present your strongest reason toward the end, so that you end on a high note. But you also want to have your second strongest reason at the beginning to get your audience's attention right away, unless there is a big reason for doing otherwise, or a logical reason why certain reasons should be ordered together. From there, you need to decide how to organize your counterarguments. There are several options for how you can do so. You can handle opposing positions before you present your own argument, or you can place counterarguments after you have presented your own argument. On the other hand, you could intersperse opposing views throughout the argument at appropriate moments as they come up. But if you imagine a skeptical audience, it's most important to build bridges to your audience by summarizing alternative views early and conceding to those that are especially strong. On the other hand, if your audience is neutral or undecided, it might be better to summarize and respond to the possible objections after you have presented your own case. Finally, academic writing requires unity and coherence. Unity refers to the relationship between each part of the essay and a larger whole, whereas coherence is more specific and refers to the relationship between adjacent sentences, paragraphs, and parts. Unity refers to the ability to connect everything in the argument back to the thesis. Coherence makes sure it flows from one sentence to the next. Finally, academic writing requires that you put old information before new information. New material is meaningful to a reader only if it is linked to old material that is already meaningful. This principle of old before new helps writers establish the main structural frame of their argument and how it will be ordered. An argument's frame derives from the writer's purpose to change some aspect of the reader's view of the topic, the common, expected, or ordinary view, which constitutes the old, known, familiar material. On the other hand, the writer's surprising new view constitutes the new, unknown, unfamiliar material. So as a writer, you want to move readers from their original view to your new and different view. Most sentences in the essay should contain both an old element and a new element. Along with that, academic readers expect writers to forecast what is coming and then fulfill those forecasts. Readers expect to be able to predict what is coming as well as a fulfillment of those predictions. In order to achieve this, you want to be sure to write effective titles and introductions, place your key point statements at the beginnings of each paragraph, use effective transitions and mapping statements, as well as headings and subheadings, start and end with the big picture, and refer to the big picture at key transition points. Keep these strategies in mind as you organize and draft your arguments in the academic writing that you do for this and your other classes.